Hey guys, welcome back to Analytics with Priyam. So in this video, I came up with another exciting project that is road accident analysis. Okay, so you can see the beautiful report which I have created. So in workflow, we are having 8 steps. Okay, the first step is requirement gathering and the last step is data visualization. Okay, so basically our data reside in SQL Server and we have to import our data from to the SQL Server into our Lakehouse. Okay, with the help of a Dataflow Gen2. And after then we have to do some of the cleansing operation and we have to filter out the data which is required. Okay, after then we have to ingest it into our lakehouse. Okay, once our data is ingested into the lakehouse, then we have to create a semantic model. Okay, all the calculated columns we have to create in the data flows and and all the measures we have to create in the semantic model. Okay, also, we are going to create a calendar table with the help of a MCode in Dataflow Gen2. Okay. And we are saving that table into Lakehouse. And in semantic model, we are going to create a relationship between our calendar table and the fact table. Okay. After then, we are going to import this into our Power BI report and we are going to create a fresh report. So guys, let's back to screen. So let's start with the first step, that is requirement gathering. Okay. So let me show you the BRD document. Okay. So basically, this is the initial step in which you will be having a meeting with your client in which you will be discussing what needs to be developed, what are the primary KPIs, what are the secondary KPIs, okay, and which charts you have to use and what is the data source, okay. So all the information you have to gather and after then you have to create the dashboard, okay. So this one I got from to the client. So client want to create a road accident dashboard for to the year 2021 and 22. Okay, so that they can have the insights on the below requirement. So there are various primary KPIs. Okay, total casualties and total accident values for current year and year on year growth. Okay, and total casualties by accident severity for current year and year on year growth. Secondary KPIs are total casualties with respect to vehicle type for to the current year. Okay, monthly trend showing comparison of casualties for to the current year and the previous year. Okay, so basically you have to compare the casualties if they are increased for this year or decreased for this year. Basically you have to compare the casualties for to the current year with respect to the previous year. Okay, casualties by road type for to the current year. Okay, current year casualties by area, location and by day night. Okay, casualties, total casualties and total accident by location. Okay, so basically these are the primary KPIs and the charts which we have to develop. Okay, so let's go and check our data. Let's understand about our data, how the data is looking. So basically my data reside in SQL Server. Okay, I am having project database in which I am having this table road accident data. Let me write down the query to show how the data is looking. So accident index, okay, this one is the index column. Accident date, the date on which the accident happened, this date, and day of the week, which day was there. Junction control, give way or uncontrolled. Okay, junction details are there. Accident severity, whether it is serious, slight or something more will be there. Okay, also we have the latitude, the location. Okay, this latitude we will be using into our location chart. Okay, the map chart. So you can see the total there are near about 3 lakhs 7,973 rows. Okay, after then we are having light condition, whether it was day or in the night. Local authority or district name is there. carriageway hazards, okay, longitude is there, and the number of casualties, okay, number of vehicles, police force, whether it is metropolitan police, road surface, whether it is dry or wet, okay, road type is there, single carriageway or one way street, double way street, dual carriageway, okay, speed limit, and the time is also given, urban or rural, okay, whether it is urban area or the rural area, and there is also weather condition, whether it is raining or whether it is fine with no high winds, okay, and there is a vehicle type, whether it is a van, car, bus, or motorcycle, okay. So basically this one is our data set. We are going to import this in our fabric lakehouse, okay. So let's go back to our fabric account, okay. So first of all, let me create a new workspace. Let me name it as a road accident. Okay, now here what I'm going to do first, I am going to create a lake house, road accident. Okay, now let me quickly go and create a Dataflow Gen2. Okay, so basically in Dataflow Gen2, I have to create a connection between our SQL Server. Okay, after then I'm going to import this table, road accident data, into our lakehouse with the help of a Dataflow Gen2. Get data from to the SQL Server database, and my server name is Priyam. Database name is projects. Okay, this one is our file. Okay, now let me check whether we need some data cleaning or not. Okay, so basically we are having this column accident severity. Okay, let me see the values inside it. Okay, so here you can see the two values as fatal and fetal. Okay, so we have to replace this fetal with this fatal. Okay, so let me right click on it, and here we have to go to replace values. Let me write down with fatal. Now you can see only one value is showing. Okay, so now here I have checked, the data is almost clean. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to create one calendar table. Okay, so for creating a calendar table, I am already having a M code. I will provide this M code in description. Okay, here you have to only modify the start date and the end date. So start date is nothing but a min of date, okay, and end date is nothing but a max of date, okay. So you can find out by sorting the date column by ascending and descending. When you will sort it by ascending order, then you will get to know the start date, and when you will sort it by descending order, you will get the end date, okay. So now let me quickly find out the start and the end date. Let me sort it to ascending. Okay, this one is our start date. Let me take a blank query and copy this code. Okay, so let me give the start and the, okay, let me first create it, after then we can modify it. Now let me find out the max date. Okay, this one is our max date, 12/31/2022. 2022. Okay, now let me name it as a calendar table. Now let me give the destination to our lake house which we have created. For this also, let me give the destination. Let me remove this shorted rules. Okay, now let's publish this Dataflow Gen2. Okay, let's wait until it publishes. Okay, our Dataflow has been published successfully. Okay, now let me quickly go and check whether we got our tables or not. Let me refresh it. Okay, we got our two tables, calendar table and road accident data. Okay, now let me quickly go and create a semantic model. Okay, so for creating a semantic model, when you will open this Lakehouse, you will upside you will get an option of creating a new semantic model. You have to create a new semantic model in which you have to select both the tables and you have to give the name of the semantic model. Let me give the name as Okay, our semantic model has been created. Okay, now here what we have to do, we have to join these two tables. Okay, so with the date column we have to create a relationship one to many. Okay, okay, and now what we have to do, we have to create all the measures in this table. Okay, here we are getting the option of creating the new measures just like this. Okay, okay, and if we want to create a calculated column, then we have to go back to our Dataflow Gen2 and there we have to create a calculated column. Okay, now here one thing I need to do. Okay, month name I had to sort it by month. Okay, sort it by month, and month short also we have to sort it by month. Okay, now let me quickly go and open a fresh Power BI report in which we have to import this semantic model. Okay, now let me open the Power BI. There is no need of SQL Server now. Let me close it. Also, we can close this. Let me open Power BI. A blank report. Now let me get the data from Power BI semantic models. Okay, very upside you can see this one is our semantic model which we have created. Let me connect it. Okay, we have imported our two tables. Okay, let me see the data modeling. Okay, that one is correct. Okay, now let me do some of the formatting for this. Okay, so we are going to do some page level formatting. Okay, some customization is needed for this, and the canvas setting I'm going to align it in the middle. Okay, now okay, so now there are various background images. Okay, let me show you the images which I have created with the help of a PowerPoint. Okay, these are all the PowerPoint images. Okay, and you can save any of the, you can use any of these images. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Okay, if you want to use this one, then right click on this and save it as a JPG format. Okay, and import this image into our Power BI report. Okay, so I have already done this step. Okay, now let me uh, okay, now let me import it. Okay, here transparency I have to set it to 0. Okay, now you can see our image has been imported. Okay, now what we have to do, let me go to BRD. Okay, so primary KPIs, total casualties. Okay, so basically we have to find out the current year casualties. Okay, and the previous year also, and we have to compare whether there was a decrease in the casualties or there were increase in the casualties. Okay, with respect to previous year. Okay, so for this we have to create one measure. Let me go and create one measure in our semantic model. Here you will get the option of creating a new measure. Let me right click and create a new measure. Let me name it as a CY casualties is equal to, here we are going to use time intelligence function, that is total YTD. Okay, and we have to specify the date column and the expression what we have to give. So the expression will be the sum of number of casualties, this one, okay, and the date column. Date column we have already created, the calendar date. Anyhow, we have to use this calendar date. Okay, we have created a relationship with the calendar table, so we have to use this one only. Okay, so this one will give the total current year total casualties. Okay, so now let me go to Power BI report and refresh here. Okay, now let me take a card visual. Where is the card visual? Where is the new card? Okay, this one. Okay, now let me put this CY casualties. Okay, as you can see, there are 196k. Okay, now we have to do some of the formatting for this. Let me do. So call out value, I am going to take it as 30. Okay, and display unit I want to take it as 1. Okay, for to the category label, let me turn off this one. Okay, and here let me turn off the background. Now here callout value, I'm going to give the white color. Okay, and title we are going to give current year casualties. Here we are going to take semi bold and let me take some gray color in the middle. Okay, okay, so now we have to calculate year on year casualties. Okay, so whether there was a increase or decrease in the casualties for this year, so we have to calculate the same. For this we have to calculate previous year casualties. Okay, so let me go back to our semantic model. and here we have to create a new measure. We name it as a previous year casualties. Here we are going to use calculate function. Sum of number of casualties and now we are going to use same period last year. Okay, and we have to give the calendar date, this one. Okay, now again we have to create one more measure, that is year on year growth. Year on year casualties. Here we have to take the measure current year casualties minus previous year casualties, and the whole will be divided by, let me give the bracket, divided by previous year casualties. Okay, so this one we have to convert it into percentage format. Okay, now let me go and add it. Let me take one more card visual and let me first refresh it. Okay, this one we have to put. Okay, so the decimal I want to take only one decimal. Let me reduce it. Okay, now let me use the format painter. Okay, let me do some of the formatting for this. Title I don't want, and call out value I will be taking as 15, semi bold. Okay, and color I want to take it as yellow. Okay, let me put it somewhere here. Okay, okay, now I think it is looking fine. Okay, so with respect to previous year, it is showing that we have a decrease of 11.9% in casualties. Okay, so in the similar way, we have to calculate the total accident. Okay, so let me open the BRD. Total casualties we have calculated. Now we have to go and create a measure for to the total accident. Okay, for to the current year and also the year on year growth. Okay, let me go back to our measure semantic model and create a new measure. Now here it is current year accident. Here we are going to use total YTD. And here we are going to take count of accident index. Okay, so accident index is the unique value, and if we are going to take the count of accident index, it will give the number of accident. Okay, and calendar date. Again we have to calculate previous year accident. Let me create a new measure. Count of accident index, and we are going to use same period last year, calendar date. Now again we have to calculate year on year growth. Year on year accident is equal to current year accident minus previous year accident. Let me put it into bracket, and divided by previous year accident. We have to convert it into percentage, and you have to take only one decimal point. Now let me refresh it. Okay, so now we can copy the same. First let me group these two. Now Control C, Control V. Okay, here we have to put current year accident, and here also we have to put year on year accident. Okay, so you can see there is a decrease of 11.7% with respect to previous year. Okay, now let me change the title for this. Current year accident. Okay, now let's move to next. Let me open the BRD. Okay, total casualties by accident severity for current year and year on year growth. Okay, so by accident severity we have to find out the total casualties. Okay, so this one is very simple, as we don't have to create a measure, copy the same. Show you how we are going to do it. Okay, so basically we have a filter section. Okay, and here onto filter on this visual we are going to put the accident severity, and here we are going to choose as fatal. Okay, We are going to lock it. Okay, so you can see the total number of accidents for fatal category, fatal severity. Okay, for this also we have to do the same. We have to select the fatal and we have to lock it. Okay, now let me change the title for this. Current year fatal accident. Okay, move it. Okay, the same we have to copy again, and for all the categories of accident severity we have to apply the filters. Okay, now in the filter section let me change it to serious. Okay, also year on year growth you have to choose the serious. Okay, now let me rename the title. Okay, now let me copy the same, paste it here. Okay, let me apply the filter condition for to the last one. You have to select slide. For this also we have to select slide. Let me change the title. Okay, okay, so now let's move to next. Okay, before moving to next we have to give the title of this dashboard. Okay, so let me insert one text box, and here we are going to write down road accident analysis. Okay, and here we are going to select it, and the font size I'm going to use dim, and it will be 36. Okay, and also we are going to bold it, and we are going to take the color as yellow. Okay, now let me, okay, oh, we have to disable the background with the text call. Okay, let me write down again. Okay, now let me quickly move to next. Okay, the secondary KPIs are total casualties with respect to vehicle type for current year. Okay, so basically we are having the vehicle type column. Okay, let me show you with the help of okay, let me open the Lakehouse and show you the vehicle type. Okay, so basically this is the vehicle type. Let me okay. Okay, so as you can see, there are many values. There are near about 15 values. Okay, so we have to group these values. Okay, we have to create one more calculated column in which we have to, for to the buses, we have to include all this bus or coach or and mini bus into one bus category. Okay, and this motorcycle, and these motorcycles we have to put into motorcycle category. The cars we have to put into the car category. Okay, so we have to group each and everything. Okay, now let me go back to our Dataflow Gen2 and create a calculated column. Okay, now let me add a custom, not a custom column, let me add a conditional column. Okay, it will be vehicle type equals to, we have to give the values. One table visual. Okay, and put the vehicle type. Okay, first let me copy this one, motorcycle. Okay, motorcycle. Okay, now let me copy this one. Then also motorcycle. Let me choose the another one. Choose another one. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Okay, pedal cycle also. Okay, now let me copy for to the buses. Minibus also comes under bus category. Okay, let me go for car. Okay, this one is also comes under car. Okay, now goods. Okay, these goods and these goods. We are going to place it into van category. One more category is there. This one will also come under van. Okay. Okay, now this other vehicle and ridden horse. These both will put into other category. Okay. Okay. And the last one it is remaining. It is agriculture vehicle. Okay. So else we are going to give it as A. Then click on OK. Okay, let me name it as a vehicle type group. Will be in text. Let me see all the categories. Okay, so we got our 6 categories. Okay, now what we have to do, once we are inserting any calculated column, we have to go to data destination and we have to add that column also in the settings. Okay, we have to reset the schema. Save setting, publish it. Let's wait until it publishes. So guys, you can see our data flow has been published successfully. Okay, and I have refreshed this semantic model. Now I got this newly added column into our semantic model. Now let me refresh it into Power BI. Okay, so we got our column. Okay, okay, let me go back to our BRD. Okay, so in this BRD, the secondary KPI that is showing as total casualties with respect to vehicle type for current year. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to select this multi-row card. Okay, and here we are going to put the vehicle type group to 1. Okay, and also we are going to put the current year casualties. Okay, now we have to format it a little bit. Okay, so now let me go to format and do some of the formatting. So category labels, I don't want. Let me turn off this category labels. Okay, and go to the cards. Okay, let me select. Okay, let me bold it, and we want another color that is not this one. Let me take some another color, this one. Okay, now let me go to callout values. Okay, here we have to give white color, something this color. Okay, and in the style we have to turn off the background. Okay, now you can see it is looking somewhat fine. Let me increase. Let me bold it also. Okay, let me choose the same font color, that is din. Okay, here also let me bold it. Now let me put it somewhere here. Okay, and now what we have to do, let me turn on the accent bars. Okay, these are turned on. Let me choose some other color. Okay, Now it is looking somewhat fine. Okay. Okay, now let me quickly add the images. Okay, so let me go to insert, and here you will get the option of image. Okay, so for to okay, let me take tractor for to the agriculture, the first one. Okay, let me place it over here. Okay, now let me pull up all the images.
Okay, for to the car, let me take this one. Fifty-eight 104. Okay, it is too small. Okay, let me put it here. See? Okay, now let me insert all the images. Okay, for bike, let me take this. Okay, now let me insert another one. Okay, this one is for bus. Okay, let me insert for van. This one is van. And for others, let me take another one. Okay, now you can see it is looking somewhat fine. Okay.
Okay, now let me quickly give the title for this chart. Okay, so let me take the text box, and here let me write down casualties by vehicle type. Select it and bold it. Let me take this color. Okay, let me increase the font size to 12. Okay, place it over here, and in the format let me turn off the background. Okay, Okay, so now let's move to next one. Let me open the BRD. Okay, so the next one is monthly trend showing comparison of casualties for to the current year and previous year. Okay, so for this, let me take one of the area chart. Okay, and we need the total number of casualties. So we have created one of the measure total casualties is equal to sum of number of casualties. Okay, so now let me take this, and onto the x-axis we want month short. Onto y-axis we want the sum of, okay, total casualties, and onto the legend we want the year. Okay, now you can see. Okay, now we have to do some of the formatting for this. Okay, so first of all, let me go to x-axis, and I don't want the title. Okay, okay, first of all, let me turn off the background. Now let me change the color, this one. Okay, and for to the y-axis also, we don't want the titles. Okay, for to the values, let me select the same color. Okay, and for to the legends also, we take the same color. Okay, so grid lines we don't want, so horizontal grid lines also we have to turn off, and the vertical, there is no vertical grid lines. Okay, okay, let me turn on the data labels, and in the data labels, let me give the same color. Okay, now let me go to title. Comparison, let me write down. Okay, and let me take it the same color. This one is looking fine. Okay, now next one we have to take a donut chart. Okay, and in this donut chart we have to show the, let me put in the legend, urban or rural. Okay, with respect to current year casualties we have to show. Okay, okay, now let me do some of the formatting for this. First of all, let me turn off the background. Okay, now legend I don't want. I'm turning off this legend. Okay, and details label we want to show the category and percentage of total. Okay, and let me take this color. Okay, now let me go to title and change the title by urban. Okay, urban slash rural, and let me change the color. Okay, let me take some other color for to the donut slices. For urban, let me take some this color, and for rural, let me take some yellow color. Not yellow, let me take this color. Okay, okay, so now let me copy the same chart. Okay, and paste it here. Okay, now in this chart, we want to show the current year casualties with respect to daylight, with respect to light condition. Okay, so let me remove this one and let me put the light condition. Okay, so you can see there are many values: darkness, lightning unknown, again light condition, darkness. Okay, so again we have to group all these to dark and this one to daylight. Okay, now what we have to do, okay, let me go back to our Dataflow Gen2 and create another column. Let me go to add column and add a conditional column. Okay, so let me name it as a day underscore night. Okay, so let me see all the values. Let me take one table visual and put the day and put the lightning condition. Okay, okay, let me copy one by one all the values. Then night. And also night. Else we are going to give as day. change the data type to text. Okay, now let me quickly save the settings. And now let me publish it. Let's wait until it publishes. Okay, now our data flow has been published successfully. Okay, so now let me go and check in Lakehouse whether our column get added or not. Let me refresh it. Okay, it got added. Now let me go to semantic model and refresh the semantic model. Okay, now let me quickly refresh our Power BI report and let me remove this one. Okay, so here we have to choose column which we have created, day night. Okay, now let me change the title also. So I'm going to name it as casualties by day oblique night. Okay, also let me change here the title. Okay, I have to remove this CY. Okay, and now let me change the color for this one. For day, let me take some light color. Okay, the same color. And for night, let me take some darker color. Let me take this one, not this one. Let me take this one. Okay, now it is looking fine. Okay, so now we have to show the current year casualties by road type. Okay, okay. So for this, we are going to use this clustered bar chart. Okay, and onto y-axis, we are going to put the road type, and onto x-axis, we are going to put current year casualties. Okay, now let me do some of the formatting for this. Okay, first of all, let me turn off the background. Okay, now for to the y-axis, I don't want the title. Okay, and here let me choose some light color. Okay, for to the x-axis also, I don't want the title. Also, I don't want the values. Okay, now in grid lines, let me turn off. Okay. Data labels we want. Let me turn on. Okay. Also, we have to change the title. Let me change the title. Casualties by road type. Okay, let me take light color. Okay, let me place it into middle. Okay, now it is showing correct. Okay, so now the last visual which I have to take, that is map visual. Okay, so basically map these maps chart are disabled for me because I am using a trial account. Okay, so that is why I'm going to use this tree map. So in values we are going to put the current year casualties. Okay, and onto the category we have to put local authority district. Okay, okay, now let me do some of the formatting for this. Okay, let me turn off the background for this. Okay, and the title, let me change it to by local authority district. By district. And let me take it as a gray color. Okay, let me put it into the middle. Okay, so now we are left with some of the slicers. Okay, so now we are going to add the slicers. Okay, so first one will be the weather condition. Okay, let me format it to drop down. And let me place it to here. Okay, and now here we are going to turn off the background. Okay, and in the slicer header let us choose the color as this one. Okay, and onto the values Okay, this is now looking fine. Okay, so now let me copy this one and paste it here. Okay, this one will be by road surface. Okay, so now we are almost done with our data visualization. Okay, so here we can change the color. Let me change the color for to the bars. Okay, I am going to choose some lighter color, this one. Okay, and here also we can choose the different colors. And for 22, let me take some other color, not this one. Let me take this one. Okay, now it is looking fine. Let me take it as a smooth. Okay, now this one is looking fine. Now I'm going to publish this dashboard into our services. Okay, it has been published successfully. Now let me quickly go back to our services and create a data pipeline for triggering the data flows and the semantic model or to the schedule refresh. Let me take new item, and here let me take the pipeline. Road accident. Okay, here we are going to take the data flow activity first. We are going to select the data flow. After then we are going to take the semantic model, this one. Okay, now let me save it and schedule it. I want daily refresh at 8 p.m. Start date you can take the today's date, and in date you can take any of the future date. Okay, and save it. Now the refresh will occur at 8 p.m. every day. Okay. Now let me check our dashboard. Okay, this one is our final outcome. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.